In my recent videos, I've been looking at a series of RPGs produced and made by Enix and Quintet. But this time we're going to look at something different. This one is from Squaresoft, and boy, is this been a great RPG. I'm really excited to look at this one. The game in mention is Secrets of Mana. I think this is a wonderful RPG, well worth taking a look at. So, let's go and see what Secrets of Mana is all about.
Secrets of Mana was developed by Square and published by Square. It was directed by Koichi Ishii, produced by Hiromichi Tanaka, designed by Koichi Ishii, Hiromichi Tanaka. The artists were Hiroo Isono, the writer was Hiromichi Tanaka, composer Hiroki Kikuta, and it belongs to the Mana series. It came out for the Super Nintendo and it was also released later on the Virtual Console. The release dates were in Japan on August 6, 1993, in North America October 3, 1993, and the rest of Europe was not until November 24, 1994. When it was released eventually onto the Virtual Console, in Japan was in September 2008, North America was in October 2008, and the rest of Europe on December 2008. It is an action role-playing game for a single player, but can also, in this case, can also have multiplayers as well. Secrets of Mana is known in Japan as Seiken Densetsu 2, or the Holy Sword Legend 2. It was even ported to Japanese mobile phones in 2009, i.e. the iPhone for example. Secrets of Mana appears to be the sequel to Final Fantasy Adventure for the Game Boy, and the second installment in the complete Mana series. Employing typical RPG elements and a unique ring command system, with its brightly colored graphics, expansive plot, and its very clever cooperative multiplayer gameplay, and it's also acclaimed soundtrack by Hiroki Kikuta. Secret of Mana was a very influential game in its time. So here we have a view of the world of Mana. The story takes place in a fictional world during an unspecified period following a war between a civilization and godlike beasts, concerning the use of mana to fuel the Mana Fortress, a flying warship. During this war, a hero used the power of the Mana Sword to destroy the fortress and appease the angered god, returning peace to the world of Mana. The hero, a young boy, is adopted by the elder of Potos after his mother disappears. After pulling the Mana Sword from a stone, monsters start to invade the town of Potos, and the villagers persuade the elder to banish him. The hero then embarks on a quest to re-energize the sword. Then there's a young girl who meets the hero briefly when he is ambushed by goblins. After helping him escape, she leaves, only to appear again outside Irini's castle. The girl is in love with a warrior named Dailok, who was ordered by the king to attack Irini's castle, which is considered a complete suicide mission. Angry with the king for this, as well as with her father for setting her up for an arranged marriage, she rebels and leaves the castle to join our hero in his quest, hoping to save Dailok as well. She is capable of casting good support and healing spells. Along the way, the heroes meet the Sprite Child at the dwarf village. The Sprite makes a living by scamming people at the dwarf's freak show. He doesn't remember anything about his past, so he joins the team to try and recover his memories. The sprite comes from a village in the upper land. He was washed away by a flood to Gaia's navel when the dwarf elder found him. The flood caused the sprite to suffer from amnesia, making him unable to remember anything of his past. While the sprite may seem childish at times, he is very courageous and equal to that of the other two heroes. As an orphan, he understands how the hero feels not growing up with his parents. He is also capable of casting attack spells. Disobeying the elder's instructions, 3 boys from the small village of Potos trespass into a local waterfall where a treasure is said to be kept. One of the boys, as in our hero, stumbles and falls into the lake where he finds a rusty sword embedded in a stone. Guided by a disembodied voice, he pulls the sword free, unleashing hordes of monsters in the surrounding countryside of the village. The villagers interpret the sword's removal as a bad omen and banish the boy from the Potos village forever. An elderly knight named Gemma recognizes the blade as a legendary mana sword and encourages the hero to re-energize it by visiting the 8 mana temples. So as we already know, our hero is joined by 2 additional people, the sprite and the young girl, who each as well have their own objectives, but also want to help our hero out too. Diluc, which is the love of the young woman, is an officer in Pandora's army who has gone missing. Throughout their travels, the trio is pursued by the Empire, which seeks to unseal the 8 mana seeds and revive the mana fortress. Unknown to the Emperor or his subordinates, they are being manipulated by Thanatos, an ancient sorcerer who has designed on creating a new peaceful world due to his own body's deterioration. Thanatos is in need of a suitable body to possess. After placing the entire kingdom of Pandora under a trance, he abducts 2 candidates, who happens to be Diluc, now enslaved, and a young Pandoran girl named Fana. Over time, however, Thanatos narrows his selection to just to Diluc. However, the Empire succeeds in concealing all 8 mana seeds. Thanatos betrays the Emperor and his henchmen, killing them all and seizing control of the mana fortress for himself. Our hero and his party journey to the Pure Land to locate the mana tree, the focal point of the world's life energy. So, anticipating their arrival, Thanatos positions the mana fortress over the tree and destroys it. The charred remains of the tree speak to the hero, explaining that a giant creature called the Mana Beast will soon be summoned to combat the fortress. However, the beast has little control over its rage and will likely destroy the whole world. The Mana Tree also reveals that it was once the human wife of Serin, the original Mana Knight, and the hero's father. The voice heard at Potos waterfall was that of Serin's ghost. The trio flies to the Mana Fortress using the transport cannon and confronts Thanatos, who is preparing to transfer his mind into Diluc. With the last of his strength, Diluc warns that Thanatos has sold his soul to the underworld and must not be allowed to have the fortress. Diluc unfortunately kills himself, forcing Thanatos to revert to a skeletal lich form. which is defeated in battle. The mana beast finally reveals itself and attacks the fortress. The hero expresses reluctance to kill the beast, fearing that with the dispersal of mana from the world, the sprite child will vanish. With the sprite's encouragement, the hero uses the fully energized mana sword to slay the beast, causing it to explode and transform into snow. At the conclusion of this game, the hero is seen returning the mana sword to its place beneath the Potos waterfall. Like most role-playing games of the 16-bit era, Secrets of Mana displays a top-down perspective in which three-player characters, the hero, the girl, and the sprite, navigate the terrain and fight off hostile creatures. Controls may be passed between each of the characters at any time. If the hero is currently selected, his two companions are controlled by artificial intelligence, or vice versa. The game may be played simultaneously by 2 or 3 players. But to do this, or to support 3 players, a super multi-tab accessory must be plugged into the second controller port of the Super Nintendo console. The Virtual Console version of the game supports 3-player gameplay with the use of additional GameCube controllers, or the classic controller. Each of the characters possesses individual strengths and weaknesses. Our hero, while unable to use magic, excels with fighting and mastering of weapons at a quicker rate. The girl functions as a healer, able to cast restorative and support spells, but with less physical attack power than our hero has. And lastly, the sprite. His magic is almost entirely offensive, but he is physically the weakest. Upon collecting enough experience points in battle, each character can increase in level to gain improved stats such as strength and evasion. The trio can find refuge in the town where they can regain hit points or purchase restorative items and equipment. Options such as changing equipment, casting spells, or checking status are performed by cycling through the game's ring command, a circular menu which hovers over the currently controlled party member. The game is momentarily paused whenever the ring commands appear. I personally thought this was a pretty cool idea. It almost reminds me of Final Fantasy. Combat takes place in real time. Located below each character's hit points is a percentage gauge that determines the amount of damage done to an enemy. Swinging a weapon causes the gauge to fall to 0 and then quickly recharge, allowing that character to attack at full strength. The party wields 8 different styles of weapons throughout the game: a sword, a spear, a bow, axe, boomerang, glove, and a whip. It also includes a javelin. With the exception of the sword, all weapons can be upgraded 8 times, and repeated use increases their skill levels to a maximum of 8, unlocking a new charge attack with each level. Weapons are upgraded through the use of weapon orbs, generally obtained after defeating a boss or found as a treasure in dungeons. Once an orb is collected, the weapon can be brought to a blacksmith, which are located in most towns. Doing this, they can all be reforged. Also, the magic in Secrets of Mana operates in much the same way as weapon skill progression, with the exception that the magic points are consumed each time a spell is cast. In order to learn magic, the party must rescue spirits known as elementals. The 8 elementals represent different elements, including water, earth, wind, fire, dark, moon, and life. And each provides the player with a specific spell. Magic skill can only be as high as the party's current mana power, which increases automatically over the course of the game. A cool feature to mention is one of the methods of travel in Secrets of Mana. It is by a super cannon, which blasts you to your destination, and you get a good overview of the world of Mana whilst in flight. Secrets of Mana was awarded Game of the Month in December 1993 and Best Role-Playing Game of 1993 by Electronic Gaming Monthly. Secret of Mana has since been on numerous best game lists. It was listed at number 42 on Nintendo Power Magazine's top 200 best Nintendo games of all time, as well as the 86th best game made on a Nintendo system in 2007. Also in 2006, Secrets of Mana was voted the 97th best game of all time by the readers of the well-known Japanese magazine Famitsu. In February 2009, the official Nintendo magazine from the UK listed the game as 82nd in its 100 best Nintendo games. In 1999, as part of the planned 9-game lineup, Square announced they will be porting A Secret of Mana to Bandai's handheld system, the WonderSwan Color, similarly to the planned remake of Final Fantasy III. Unfortunately, no news of the port ever surfaced outside the announcement, but a mobile phone port of Secrets of Mana was released on October 26, 2009. A port of the game for iPhone was also revealed. Secrets of Mana was yet another wonder for the world of RPGs, and ranks itself way up there with other great titles like Zelda, Link's Awakening, Illusion of Time, Brainlord, and Terranigma, amongst others, and I highly enjoyed revisiting this wonderful game. I will be revisiting another great RPG classic, starting in the new year in Season 3 of the Retro Gaming channel. I will be looking at Secrets of Evermore. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, Benny Gameboy out.